Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I will demonstrate how to cut and sew a pleated neckline blouse with tulip sleeves. Hi, my name is Ayo and welcome to 011 Clothing Tutorials. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now, let's get right into the tutorial. Thank you! These are all the pattern pieces needed to make the blouse. I drafted the patterns for this in a previous tutorial. The link to the pattern drafting tutorial will be above and in the description box below. I will go ahead and cut them out on my fabric. I have already pinned the front pattern to my fabric and the fabric has already been folded into two. I used half an inch seam allowance all around the pattern except for the side seam and the hem where I used 1 inch seam allowance. The center front will be cut on fold. I'll go ahead and cut it out. I will notch the positions of the pleats on the neckline. I have pinned the back piece to my fabric and the fabric has already been folded into two layers. I used half an inch seam allowance all around the pattern except for the side seam and the hem where I used 1 inch seam allowance. The center back will be cut on fold. The fabric has already been folded into two. I will cut it out. These are the tulip sleeve pieces which I've already pinned to my fabric. I used half an inch seam allowance all around the pattern pieces except at the side seams and the hems where I used 1 inch seam allowance. The fabric has already been folded into two layers. I will cut it out. I will notch the middle of the sleeve edge. I will also notch the pleat positions. I have cut out all the pattern pieces on my fabric as you can see. I will now proceed with the sewing process. These are the front and the back pieces. I will set aside the back piece for now. This is the front piece. I will remove the pattern from the fabric like this. I will open up the front piece. I have already notched the pleat positions. I will go ahead and fold the pleats in place. I will secure the pleats with my pins. There are 6 pleats in all and they should all face the same direction, which is towards the center front. I'll go ahead and sew the pleats in place about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the fabric. So now the stitching has been done as you can see. This is the back piece. I will notch the middle of the back neckline. I will remove the pattern from the fabric. I will open up the back piece like this. From the middle point on the neckline, I will draw a vertical line downwards like this. I will now measure and mark 6 inches on this vertical line. I will slash this vertical line up to the 6-inch point. I have here this bias tape that I made myself from the main fabric. The bias strip was cut on the bias grain and it is 2 inches wide. I'll go ahead and sew the bias tape to the slit that I made at the center back of the back piece. So I have sewn the bias tape in place. As you can see, I will trim off the excess bias tape at the upper part. I will fold the back piece into 2 like this, such that the right sides are together. I will sew the end of the bias binding diagonally like this. So the diagonal stitching has been done, as you can see. And I've given the bias binding a thorough press with my pressing iron. With the right sides of the front and the back pieces together, I will go ahead and sew the shoulders in place using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. I have gone ahead to do the stitching, as you can see, and I have overlocked the raw edges. I have here this bias tape that I have already pressed in place, as you can see. I made the bias tape from the main fabric and it is 2 inches wide. I will place the bias tape to the neckline like this. The right side of the bias tape is facing the wrong side of the neckline. I will fold over the end of the bias tape like this, about 1/2 to 1 inch. I will fold it over. I will pin it in place. I will pin the bias tape in place all around the neckline of the blouse. I will trim off the excess bias tape, but I will leave about 1 inch overhanging bias tape at the end. This will be folded over and pinned in place like this. I will now go ahead and sew the bias tape in place using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see. I folded over the bias binding at this side. I will reduce the seam allowance to about 1/8 of an inch. I will now go ahead and carefully fold over the bias tape to the right side of the neckline like this. I will pin it in place. After pinning, I will take it to my sewing machine and I will sew it in place. This narrow elastic band will be used to create a loop for the button that will be at the back of the neckline. I have already cut out about 1 inch long elastic and this will be fixed at the center back of the neckline. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see. I have sewn the bias tape in place. As you can see, this binding on the right was folded inwards to the wrong side of the blouse so that there can be some overlap when the button and the loop are fixed in place. The loop will be inserted on this right side where the binding was folded over. I will insert the loop into the opening that I have here like this, with the elastic loop folded into 2. I will stick down the elastic loop. I have stick down the elastic loop, as you can see. I will fix a button to this other side. I will now go ahead and sew the side seams in place. I will also hem the lower part of the blouse. So now that has been done, as you can see, I have sewn the side seams in place. I have also hemmed the lower part of the blouse, and I've given the entire blouse a thorough press with my pressing iron. These are the tulip sleeve pieces. I will go ahead and hem the lower part of the tulip sleeve pieces. So now I have gone ahead to do the hemming. I will remove the patterns from the fabric. I will pick up one front piece and one back piece each to make 2 pairs of the front and the back tulip sleeve pieces. I have already notched the pleat positions on all the sleeve pieces. I will fold and pin the pleats in place on all the tulip sleeve pieces. After folding all the pleats in place, I will go ahead and sew the pleats in place about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the fabric. So now the stitching has been done. As you can see, I have sewn all the pleats in place on all the 4 sleeve pieces. On all the sleeve pieces, I have already notched all the back and the front sleeve pieces. A single straight snip signifies that this is the front sleeve piece, and double straight snips signifies that this is a back sleeve piece. I will make use of this puff sleeve pattern, out of which the tulip sleeve patterns were traced out to assist me with the proper placement of the tulip sleeve pieces. Also, I have already notched the middle of the sleeve edge on all the sleeve pieces. So the middle points on the front and the back sleeve pieces must match up. I will pin the 2 sleeve pieces in place. I will later sew the 2 pieces together about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the fabric. I will repeat the same thing on the remaining 2 sleeve pieces as well. If you observe the tulip sleeve design very well, you will realize that the back of the sleeve overlaps the front part of the sleeve. So I will rearrange the sleeve and I will make sure that these back sleeve pieces overlap the front sleeve pieces. After doing this, I can now go ahead and sew the sleeve pieces together about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the fabric. So now I have gone ahead to do the stitching. As you can see, I have sewn the 2 tulip sleeve pieces together. I will fold the 2 sleeve pieces into 2, tuck the wrong sides together. I will sew the side seams in place using 1/2 an inch sewing allowance. So now the stitching has been done. As you can see, I will reduce the 1/2 inch seam allowance to about 1/4 of an inch. What I'm doing is a French stitching technique. I will now turn the sleeve to the wrong side and I will sew the side seams again the second time using 1/2 an inch sewing allowance. So now the stitching has been done. As you can see, I have sewn the side seams of the sleeves in place. This is the main blouse. I will go ahead and sew the sleeves to the armholes of the blouse, making sure that the front of the sleeve is sewn to the front armhole curve and the back of the sleeve is also sewn to the back armhole curve. I will use 1/2 an inch seam allowance for the sewing. So now that has been done. As you can see, I have fixed the sleeves to the armhole of the blouse, and I've also overlocked the raw edges. I will now go ahead and fix this button to the back neckline. So that's it guys, we are done, and this is the final look of the pleated neckline blouse with tulip sleeves. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share this video with your friends who are interested in sewing, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. See you in my next tutorial. Bye, and thank you so much for watching.